how do you feel about your heritage and the contributions to Western culture? For example, democracy, philosophy, or astrology?
Okay, if something doesn't change generally in the country, we're gonna be lower and lower and lower, but nothing's gonna change.
Okay. And what are the two things you wish visitors would learn about Greece?
I think that they're not so informative about our country, but this is the country's problem, not them problem. And I think that when we met each other, we learn a lot of things about them, and they learn a lot of things about us.
Do you notice the ancient monuments, or are they just part of your daily life?
I know the most of them, but the tourist doesn't know the most of them. For example, they mixed Parthenon and the Acropolis, which is exactly the same thing, but Acropolis is the area and Parthenon is the monument. And that's the reason that, because we don't have an info point for more information for the tourists, etc.
Okay. So how was it like growing up here, or how do you think it's different from what you know about the States or other countries?
Okay, I think that we are trying to be more women than we are. Like if someone is 12 years old, it's his or her character is like that he's 28 or 30 years old. Even that the people from the other countries, they're just the age. If they are 12, they feel like 12, and their character is like 12.
Okay.
That's
okay.
all.
Well, I'm Jackie.
I'm Katerina.
Nice to meet you.
How do you feel about your heritage and contributions to the Western culture?
I feel quite proud about the fact that a lot of things started in Greece, such as astrology, democracy. We have a lot of history. People know a lot about our history. But to be honest, it's not something that I think about on a daily basis. But if I get in a conversation with someone and we're discussing such things, then yeah, I feel proud. It's good to know that these things started from us, but it's a shame that we're not continuing it with it anymore.
What are two things you wish visitors would learn about Greece?
Okay, tourists, especially non-Greeks, should know not to get in taxis in Athens because they'll just rip them off. And the second thing I'd recommend is for people to actually have a look of an island. So don't just go in where you'll see loads of people, or don't just go to the beach where it's packed with people. Have a good look around, because very often going around the back of an island, the beaches and the seas are much nicer, and the food is very often much nicer as well.
Are the ancient sites noticed, or are they just part of your daily life?
Personally, when I do go into Athens, I definitely notice them. Here on the island, we don't have any ancient sites, but I think people that live in Athens and see these sites on a daily basis, I don't think they would really appreciate them as much as people that see them every now and then. But again, I think that's everywhere really. I used to live in London, and I didn't notice anything. It was only when friends of mine came to visit me, that's when we would go and see stuff, or that's when I would really notice them. Otherwise I just walk straight past it. I think it's just life on a daily basis. You just don't really notice these things anymore, unfortunately.
How do you think that superstition is influenced?
Greeks really do believe in superstition. I didn't used to believe in it until very recently when I started getting bad headaches and stomach aches, and then my boyfriend's mother would do this thing. It's called getting rid of the bad eye. Basically they have a little cup and they put water and oil in, and they cross the cup like this or something like that, and they pray, and about 15-20 minutes later the headache or the stomach ache really does go away. But it could be psychological as well. But it's good to know that it exists. Whenever I get a headache, I'm like, Nick, please tell your mum to take this bad eye off me. And it works. And like my grandma, every time I'll go into the house, and if I yawn, she'll like spit on me, like to take the bad eye. Yeah, a lot of people believe in it, and especially the bad eye. A lot.
Can you talk about the financial crisis and how it affects the island?
It hasn't affected the island as much as it's affected the mainland, partly because I don't think there's as much competition on the island here. I don't know, we're 10 bars and maybe 10 restaurants. I don't know, there aren't that many. Athens is really bad. There are shops closing down daily, and bars and cafes and hotels and everything. So far on the islands we are much better off. We can definitely see that there's an economic crisis. We don't have as many people as we used to have, but it's not as bad as Athens at the moment. People will definitely ask prices, so when they come and sit at the bar, they'll say, how much is a beer, how much is an ice cream, how much is that. Whereas previously they would just come in and just order and order and order without even thinking of asking. So they're definitely more cautious of prices and things like that.
How different are the islands from the mainland, such as Athens?
The islands, personally, I think are so much better because, first of all, the temperature is always a bit cooler on the islands. You have a bit of a breeze, you have the sea, you can just dive in quickly. The people are much more relaxed, they're much more talkative, they have more time. They're not so much as robots, in Athens they wake up, they'll go to work, they're moody, they're hot, they're this, they're that. Whereas here, you're much more free, much more happy, it's just walking along the streets. It's nice.
How important is technology in your daily life? Like computers and cell phones?
In Greece, I don't think the technology is as high as it is, at least in the UK. I'm saying the UK because I've lived there. We definitely have internet, and we have like all the latest phones and the latest laptops and stuff. But for example, if you're in Athens and you're wanting to find a street or something, your internet connection on your phone won't be anywhere as good as it was in England. It's really slow, if you get it at all, that is. It's really annoying. Like, I can't use my phone in Athens. It's just like, because I have an iPhone, I use it more as an iPod than anything else here. Unless I'm in the bar here and I'm using the internet. But I need Wi-Fi. The 3G is not good. And also, internet banking is just starting off now. So it's further back than what it is in the UK and assume America as well. But it's slowly getting up to date, but slowly. It's got a few more steps to go.
I like to work with tourists, and I feel good that we have tourists here, and that's why I feel very good. I passed Acropolis, nothing else. I've been up there like only 2 times, and that's it for free, I think. Just I passed. So we go like every week, let's say. And the other question, I don't remember. I answer you the 2 last ones.
Yeah, the 2 last ones. What are 2 things you wish that visitors, like tourists, would know about Greece or would learn about Greece?
Drink.
To drink?
Like drink, yeah. Drink what I learned from tourists, and to see some places that I recommend them some areas to live or to visit our place. Understanding my English is terrible, that's right. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yes. Okay. And how do you feel about your culture, your heritage?
I feel good.
Can you talk about the financial crisis? Because ever since we got here, people have been talking about that a lot. Has it affected you or?
What do you want me to tell you?
Everything you know, I guess.
I think for the crisis, the whole thing that happens here in Greece, I think that the government is the fault to the government, like the people, you know. They destroy all this. They just start to take the money for themselves and all this stuff, you know. I think that is a big problem with economy now. Not in this area, by the way. Here is very good because a lot of tourists they came, but in this area and in this kind of jobs like bar or you know all this stuff here. But in the other areas and all these things is a big problem. Trust me, guys. It's a big problem to find a job. To I don't know. It's a big problem.
Although it's really packed, the people, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it.
You,
You see the view from Lycabettus or Acropolis, something.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And then, do you notice the ancient sites like the Parthenon stuff? Do you see that all the time, or do you walk by it every day and you don't think about it?
We're used to it, but we still realize that it's nice, it's beautiful, stuff like that.
The importance
But
of historical.
once you live there and you're used to it, it's different. Like you from the US, you have some
monuments,
some nice things to see all day.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you're used to it, obviously. I don't know.
And then, this might not affect y'all, but it might. But since we got here, people have been talking about the financial crisis.
Yeah.
Does it affect you or your families? Like, do y'all work?
It affects everyone, like, you know, it affects us from, like, I can't explain it. It affects us from a way or another way. It will affect us.
Yeah.
You know, either the tax, the extra tax that we have to pay, or our families and our, let's say, our allowance, or the money they give us to go out, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna affect us, like it or not.